The first spring of the Sam Shade era is in the books on the Hill, and I'm joined by the new head football coach of the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. Coach, what can you tell me about your first spring with the team?
Well, first off, Max, I want to say thank you for having me. And this first spring was really exciting for us, for our coaching staff, having an opportunity to work with some of the players that we hadn't worked with, and we feel like we got a lot done.
Coming from Miles, you know the state well. You played at Alabama. You're from Alabama. What do you think that you can bring to the Hill, knowing the history of the A&M program and everything that the school wants it to live up to?
Well, I definitely think it helps to, be from the state of Alabama, and having recruited here for a number of years as a college head coach and also a college assistant, I think that does give me a little bit of an advantage just because of the relationships and the contacts that I have in the state. And then just, I think everybody's different in their coaching style. I'm a little bit different than some guys, and I think that what we're bringing to the Hill is going to be something special.
I know some of the things you're bringing to the Hill are some of your former players from Miles. What can you say about why those guys were important to bring with you?
Well, first off, it saves a lot for those guys to make a decision to follow myself and members of our coaching staff that were at Miles to A&M. So that's big. But those players, they're going to help us out a lot. They understand our philosophy, they understand our culture, and they've already done a good job of just letting the guys understand what to expect.
As someone who played in the NFL, had a pretty lengthy career, you know what it takes to get to the next level and to really accomplish the task. How much do you think that the guys that you have under you say, I know that he knows what he's talking about because he did it?
Well, I think it's big. Matter of fact, I know it is. But we've also got some other coaches on the staff that played a long time in the NFL. Our defensive line coach, Marco Coleman, played 14 years. Our linebacker coach, Coach Ronald McKinnon, played 10. Defense coordinator, Coach Shelling, played a few years. Our offensive coordinator played a few years, Coach Dennis Alexander. So I think our players, they look at that, and that's something that maybe motivates them a little bit more.
So you have spring in the books. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the things you saw that really impressed you?
Well, I thought it started with our quarterback, Quad Brown, who came out of spring as our starter, going into training camp. I thought his leadership was good. I thought that some of the other guys on the offensive line that are holdovers from last season did a good job with leadership. And so those are things that we didn't have to really coach as much. But then there's some places on our team, some position groups that don't have as much experience. So we've got to work on those guys when it comes to just stepping out there and being leaders.
And what can you say about some of the things you're hoping that they can improve on over the summer as they lock in for this first season?
Well, one of the biggest things is in the summertime, you definitely want to work on your conditioning and get stronger, bigger, stronger, faster. Those are some things we always talk about. So we want to do those things. But also having a couple hours a week to work with those guys, our coaching staff, we get an opportunity to really work on some of the fundamentals and the little details. And we get a chance to kind of start installing our offense and defense for those new guys that we brought in also.
Louis Cruz Stadium can get loud, it can get packed. I'm sure you've seen pictures and videos of what it's like on homecoming. How excited are you to get out there for the first time with that place packed?
Well, first off, I want it like that every week. I don't want it just packed for homecoming. I want it packed every week because our players, our student athletes, that's what really gets them up and motivated for ball games. I think that when you've got a packed house, the energy, the environment is big when you want to win ball games.
You've seen that environment with your winning ways at Miles. How much are you hoping that a couple wins at the beginning of the season can pack that place out and get the fans to stay around?
Well, that's always big. Whenever you can get some wins early, get a little momentum going, and the guys start feeling good about themselves, and it's a little bit easier to coach them up and keep pushing them and just take them to the next game feeling good about themselves.
What are you most excited about with this first season with the Bulldogs?
Well, I'm really just excited for our players. It's always about the student athletes, for myself, for our coaching staff, for our administration, our AD. I think everybody involved, we're about the players having a great experience. We're about the players being able to play in a great environment, and we want them to have success, not just on the field, but off the field. So really excited about bringing this team together and having more than just spring practice, more time to work with them than we had in spring. We only had 15 practices in spring, so I'm looking forward to more time, being able to spend more time with the players.
And I'm sure you've had that first game on the schedule circled since you took the job. What can you say about the excitement for that one?
Well, the first one is going to be a big one. You talk about a packed stadium. We're going up to Fayetteville, Arkansas, an SEC team. I've played there as a player. It's going to be packed, going to be loud, and we're trying to get our guys ready for that. And we tell our guys all the time, hey, if you want to win them all, you got to win the first one. So we're taking them one at a time, and that's the first one.
Awesome. Coach, can't thank you enough for making time for me. Best of luck this season.
Yes, sir. Thank you.